Hello, everybody. Good day to you all. Today, I am talking about the Legend of Vox Machina, season number 2, episode number 10, 11, and 12. Episode number 10 is the Kill Box. Episode number 11 is Belly of the Beast, and episode number 12 is the Hope Devourer. And in this episode here, we have a lot of things going down. The first episode, the Kill Box, we're mostly focusing on Grog and his relationship he has with his uncle. And it's not pretty. See, his uncle pretty much beat the crap out of him last time. Pretty much nearly killed him, and he kicked him out of the herd because he didn't want to kill some small people. And so now, and those people became by part of his family. He found Pop, and that's where he met Pike, and everything went down from there. But seeing Grog fix up somebody who he had none of the advantages. He doesn't have the sword anymore. He doesn't have his muscles anymore. And you see him finding his true strength, finding where his strength actually comes from. And he realizes where it comes from. And you see him power up. People say today. Now he doesn't do it all by himself. He gets the help. He gets the help of Vox Machina to help it out. But it broke out into one of the coolest action sequences ever. But the music playing in the background with made it even more awesome. Made me feel more epic as well too. And you just seeing like a character like Grog like step up and have his little arc and step up to the plate, and you get to understand him more as a character and appreciate him more when you see him like this. Because you always did like Grog. Grog is he's a big guy, very violent, but also he's like a heart of gold. And so you see we've seen his sweet side, we've seen his anger side, but we see like. You finally see where his strength comes from, and you finally understand where his strength comes from. And you see him step up in here. You actually feel proud of him as a character, and you want to see him like move forward and grow as the team. A lot of the teams, a lot of people in this team have been stepping up and moving up and upgrading themselves. Like Percy, not so much. We saw a little bit of that with that little gadget he had, but we haven't seen him like step up. Mostly everybody here as part of the team. I mean, except for Pike. Had her moment last season. Percy had to face his demons last season, but you don't see him like rising up to another level here. But you got to see Grog. He stepped up to the plate and things though because he always been the strong one, but he never knew where the strength actually came from. And then when you see him lose that strength and then still manage to, even though not having the advantages, still faces like somebody who know he can kill him, but still step up to the plate and facing no matter what, and finding his truth and then learning where his truth comes from. It's like this is amazing to watch as well too. Also we have Scanlan here. Scanlan is a womanizer. I won't say he's a womanizer. Anything that moves as a whole, and he's taking a chance. And so now he finds out he has a daughter. He has a daughter now, and you're seeing him step up to the plate and rise up. And even though Scanlan has his weird ways and little quirks, but even sometimes those ways actually help them. Like when he faced off against that other stuff, the male Sphinx, and managed to actually hurt him, but not in a physical way, but more in an emotional way. And so seeing him now trying to take up the role as a father. And trying to be there for his daughter, even though he missed out a lot of time in her life, you see him like rise up to the plate and trying to be somebody who he feels as though is worthy in her eyes. And you see that more in that episode right here. Then you have Vax accepting his new role in life and embracing it as well too, instead of trying to run away from it. Because when you think of death, you think of something you should be scared of, but at the same time, you also realize that death is a part of life, and and without death, you can't appreciate the life that you're living. And seeing that that she's not really a bad thing or a curse, and something that it may be helpful for him and the rest of the crew as well too. Like the path may be slightly different, but they still are together and they still are a group and they still are a family. So it doesn't really take him away from in this situation. Now he might have to. Now I don't know. He might have some missions on his own. That'd be kind of interesting. But for right now, he still is part of the group, and you see him like rise up to the plate and even gain other abilities as well. Which is quite awesome and beautiful to look at. So this overall, this season was just amazing. I really enjoyed this whole lot. Even these 3 episodes right here, but even though it can be dark at times, it's still very, very bloody and very, very graphic when it comes to the violence. But it also managed to bring humor to it as well too. Good music as well, and you really do love this group of people, this Vox Machina. because they may be misfits, they may be crazy, and maybe a little bit off at time. But when you see them come together, and you see how they look out for one another and have each other's backs, even though sometimes they may fight between one another, because like you have Percy and Vax, yes, and Vax, not on the same page at one moment in time, but you also see them come back together and become friends again, become family as well too. You also see like love seeing sparks in here too. And the rest part is though, you have Vax and you have Keyleth, two people who are in love with each other, but their timing is always off. Like Vax tried to talk to Keyleth last time, but the thing so they thought he thought he was gonna die, so he fessed his love for her, and so he said not now, and then now she's trying to she's not confessing her love, but she's trying to let them know that she's available. But now he's going through this whole thing with the crow lady, and so now their timing is off as well too. But you can tell that eventually they're going to line up eventually. It's going to happen. It's got to wait. So when it finally does happen, we're all going to be happy. Oh my God, it finally happened! Like this, yay! But for right now, they still got to go through their little ups and downs right now. But you see some stuff to the plate. And we also get more on the why the head fire dragon was so fast, so set on collecting more gold and more treasure, they actually worrying about the vestiges. You see that he has a plan coming later on that's going to be messed up. Now I thought they're going to have them fight all the dragons at the same time as the finale. They didn't do that. They're just setting things up for more to come. So that means even though we may have lost one dragon, we have other dragons they got to face. And these dragons are way more powerful than before. Even when they fought in this previous episode, was they fought this season was way more powerful than when they fought in the first two episodes of last season, and that one gave them a problem. These dragons are incredibly strong and powerful, and even with the help of the half giants and the whole crew coming together, still wasn't enough. Almost wasn't enough to people stop these dragons. To stop one dragon. It took everything they had to stop the one. So good lord. But great second season. It'll give the season a grade. I'm giving it a solid A. I'm giving it a solid A because from the acting, from the voice acting, I thought they did an amazing job there. From the storytelling, I thought it was done quite nicely, and I really did like giving them the arch, a lot of the characters, so you can get to know them a whole lot more, and also seeing their connections. I really enjoyed as well too. And even like I said, it has dark moments in here and a very graphic violence. It also still managed to have humor to it as well too. So it's like not too much to make it cheesy, so to distract you from what was going on or lessen what happened. It still lets you feel it. Something bad happens, they still let you feel that, but they still manage to, at the same time, to bring some humor to it as well too. That overpowers what happens, so that happens to take you out of the story, which I thought was quite well as well too. The animation, of course, has always been beautiful to look at, and especially when it comes to action sequences as well, they do an amazing job there. And they also incorporated more CGI as well with the traditional. And I think it did an amazing job by blending them together, because once they did it with the creatures like the dragons, they did it with the Sphinx, and I think they also did again with the crow lady when they showed her like in her final form, and so. But it's still blended in quite nicely. It didn't take away too much from the animation that was going on. It kind of blended into that world quite beautifully. So overall, great 3 episodes right here. It does end on a cliffhanger, but it just gets you more excited for the next season to come. So if you haven't been watching Vox Machina, I highly recommend this. So check it out for yourself. And if you have, leave comments down below. Let me know what you thought about it. And so give my channel a like, hit the thumbs up, boop, and subscribe to my channel and share. I really do appreciate it. Like I always say, in my dreams of a life, I am the Ninja Rabbit. Peace out, people.